Hello, my name is Sara McCarthy, and I'm a BCBA. I currently hold the role of Senior Behavior Analyst with Amal Behavioral Health Supports. Amal Behavioral Health Supports falls under the service umbrella of Amal Youth and Family Centre. Amal Youth and Family Centre is a nonprofit organization located in St. John's, Newfoundland that aims to provide trauma-informed, inclusive, and developmentally sensitive services for youth and families across the province of Newfoundland and Labrador. Amal became fully operational in August of 2021 with a mission to provide a range of innovative services responsive to the needs of individuals, families, and communities. Behavioral Health Supports became operational in November of 2022, providing behavioral interventions to complex needs individuals, in addition to providing wraparound supports outside of the clinical context for both individuals and their families. The behavioral health team is comprised of BCBAs, RBTs, as well as child and youth care workers undergoing training and fieldwork supervision in the implementation of behavior analytics services. Given the complexities of the individuals we serve, we knew we needed to seek out professional mentorship in order to provide effective intervention programs. We chose to engage in training with FTF Behavioral Consulting due to their expertise in interventions for severe problem behavior, as well as the shared values between the practice of today's ABA and the organizational values that Amal Youth and Family Centre holds. Our team enrolled in a practical functional assessment and skills-based treatment training cohort with FTF in January of 2023. Under the supervision of Dr. Teresa Fiani, we aim to credential our behavioral health practitioners as Level 4 lead implementers and Level 3 support implementers. We chose 3 complex needs young people to begin the PFA SBT process with. The rest of my presentation will focus on one specific young person from this cohort. We will call him Daniel. Daniel's family and staff team have graciously been open to sharing his story. This requires a lot of vulnerability, bravery, and openness for everyone's learning. I want to thank them for allowing me the opportunity to showcase some of Daniel's experiences. Upon referral, Daniel was 12 years old with a diagnosis of autism spectrum disorder. Daniel had limited vocal verbal language, often speaking in 1 to 2 word utterances. Daniel loves toys, especially organizing them. He also enjoys analyzing toys and other items at different angles and in different lightings. He loves car washes, elevators, and anything with cause and effect or loud sounds. Upon referral, Daniel's challenges included hitting, mostly to the face area of others, grabbing or breaking items such as eyeglasses, biting, pulling hair in large chunks, kicking, scratching, and targeted throwing of large items toward the face or head of another person, often resulting in broken skin and at times concussions. Daniel's life was becoming more restricted within the community. He had reached a point he was no longer able to attend school. A referral was made for an individualized living arrangement through our out-of-home care residential program. Typically, we do not showcase videos of individuals engaging in challenging behavior to preserve dignity for them and the others caring for them. In this circumstance, I believe it's important to highlight some of the challenges Daniel and his staff team faced on a daily basis to provide context to this journey. The short video clip will provide a brief example of challenging behavior displayed by Daniel. Daniel is escalated and is engaging in dangerous R1 behavior. His staff are positioned at a safe distance and in a non-threatening manner. In the next clip, you will see a common occurrence where Daniel engages in physical aggression towards his child and youth care workers in his home. The staff members demonstrate a decision to use a front arm physical containment, which is part of their UMAB training. UMAB stands for Understanding and Managing Aggressive Behavior. This approach is designed to ensure the safety of everyone involved while mitigating risks of further traumatization for the individual in the crisis state. What I appreciate most about this video is that it clearly illustrates how the physical containment is minimal and non-intrusive. You'll notice that almost immediately, Daniel begins to engage in deep breathing and begins to de-escalate. This is a powerful example of how proper training techniques can lead to positive outcomes in challenging situations where safety is paramount. All of the child and youth care workers and Daniel's team received training in UMAB to ensure safety for both themselves and Daniel. Given the severity of potential harm, caregivers were trained in interventions for self-protection, including disengagement skills and therapeutic containment when necessary, and only when safety was of paramount. One of the primary reasons towards implementing PFA SBT for Daniel was to reduce and eventually eliminate the need for therapeutic containment. Before implementing SBT, we collected baseline data over a period of 2 months, focusing on incidents involving physical aggression exhibited by Daniel following the move into his individualized living arrangement. For tracking purposes, we grouped throwing, slapping, punching, hair pulling, scratching, and pushing into the category of physical aggression. The graph shows data spanning 9 weeks. The data represented by circles indicate the frequency of physical aggression that did not require therapeutic containment, which ranged from 2 to 10 occurrences on a weekly basis. The data represented by the squares indicate the frequency of physical aggression where Daniel was placed in a therapeutic containment as a last resort for both the safety of Daniel and his caregivers. The data indicates therapeutic containment ranged from 3 to 18 occurrences weekly. The red line on the graph demonstrates the frequency of caregiver injuries, reaching the highest peak of 10 injuries in a single week during this reported timeframe. This graph displays Daniel's behavioral health index scores prior to beginning services with behavioral health. Daniel's scores indicate that Daniel was living a highly restricted lifestyle with a high risk of severe problem behavior. While Daniel had some critical skills and a moderate health repertoire, which are protective factors for problem behavior management strategies were being heavily utilized in Daniel's program, increasing the level of restriction and problem behavior in Daniel's everyday life. We began the PFA process using the open-ended interview. We conducted 2 separate interviews, one with Daniel's child and youth care team and one with Daniel's parents and close family members. From the interview, we were able to gather information on Daniel's dangerous behaviors, the situations that evoke them, the warning signs that dangerous behavior is likely to happen, as well as effective interventions to turn off dangerous behavior. We learned about Daniel's current skills, as well as the skills that Daniel's team and parents would like to see him acquire. Additionally, we learned what happy, relaxed, and engaged looks like for Daniel and how we might achieve this with his favorite items, activities, and people in a clinical context. From the interview, we divided Daniel's challenging behavior into 2 response classes. Our 2 behaviors or precursor behavior included whining, clenching teeth, pursing lips, stating and/or motioning to throw or hit, removing clothing, repeating no, crying, and screaming. Increases in vocal and motor stereotypy were also noted as warning signs that Daniel was escalating. Our 1 behaviors or dangerous problem behaviors included hitting, kicking, biting, pulling hair out in large chunks, grabbing and swiping glasses, hitting self, targeted throwing of items, severe property destruction, and elopement into the street. When designing Daniel's skill branches, we focused on the question, how will each skill benefit Daniel's life? Our goal was to create branches that would significantly enhance his quality of life and align with his family's wishes. Daniel's family expressed a desire for him to engage more with his caregivers, as well as being reintegrated back into school. Therefore, we prioritize teaching pre-academic skills and play skills. Additionally, based on our interview findings, we noted that challenges often arose during health and hygiene routines. We focused on helping Daniel tolerate health-related tasks, such as taking medications, and hygiene tasks, supporting him in completing these activities as independently as possible, all while reducing challenging behavior. The ISCA was first attempted in the clinical space, but we could not achieve or maintain HRE for Daniel. We chose to attempt the ISCA in Daniel's house the second time, which resulted in success. As depicted in the graph shown, we were able to turn off minor problem behavior, denoted by open diamonds, a total of 5 times, with quick returns to HRE and no escalation into dangerous behaviors. The ISCA and early sessions were conducted by a BCBA pursuing Level 4 credentialing from FTF Behavioral Consulting and Daniel's aunt, who served as the Level 3 support implementer due to her strong rapport with Daniel. At this stage, his staff team were not involved in his SBT sessions. In this video, SBT is being conducted in an empty room as Daniel expressed a desire to move all the items from the reinforcement area to the downstairs, which we honored and respected. You will observe both implementers acknowledging the items Daniel shows interest in without asking questions. The clip shows the presentation of the EO and Daniel's independent functional communication response, "My way," which is promptly reinforced.
Let's go to the table now. Yeah, no problem. That's your way. Yeah. The lights were off.
In this video clip, Daniel is working with his aunt, who is still acting as the support implementer. We are working on his tolerance response, which is a fist pump or a vocal okay. This video is a big win. When the video was clipped, we missed the implementer present the EO, but we can see that Daniel immediately responds with his FCR, "My way." When the implementer states, "Not right now," Daniel responds with a clear vocal okay.
No, not right now. Okay. Great job. You handled that awesome. Great job.
We began encountering difficulties within SBT. As new implementers, we filled the room with various preferred items to promote novelty and choice, but we soon realized that this approach was counterproductive. Instead of enhancing engagement, it led to Daniel displaying R2 and R1 behavior. Due to the lack of HRE in the space, Daniel often demanded to be taken places like the car wash or McDonald's during SBT sessions, leading him to opting out of sessions or sessions being very short due to the high levels of escalation displayed by Daniel. To collaboratively address these challenges, we extended our original learning cohort with FTF to provide us with adequate training and oversight for Daniel's SBT program. A BCBA within the learning cohort assumed the role of lead implementer on Daniel's programming and provided coaching to staff on the ground in real time. Although Daniel had not reached CAB 6, we needed to prepare for a transition to a new implementer, as his aunt would be leaving the country for an extended period of time. We identified child and youth care workers who had been long-standing members of Daniel's team to continue implementing SBT moving forward. These child and youth care workers joined our FTF cohort, marking the beginning of Daniel's first treatment extension. Daniel's SBT continued in his home setting, or sometimes in the backyard, and was run by the identified CYCs while they were working their residential care shifts with Daniel. In the following video, you will see one of the CYCs from Daniel's team run a tolerance training learning trial. The reinforcement context for this session was the backyard. Daniel is engaging in toy smashing, an activity he appears to enjoy. The implementer is low and loose within the reinforcement context, is available to Daniel, and shares in his excitement of smashing the toys. While the implementer is following Daniel's lead, they are at a distance away from him that appears supervisory. Child and youth care workers reported they often struggled to remain close to Daniel when he had large items in his hands or when he was smashing toys due to the history of being struck and injured with hard toys in the everyday caring environment. You will see the implementer stand, clap, and provide Daniel with the instruction, it's time to go inside and do some work. Daniel will emit his FCR, my way, which is denied by the implementer. Daniel then emits his tolerance response, a fist pump, which the implementer immediately and silently reinforces. Daniel requests that the implementer check out his toy, which she does so with genuine enthusiasm, and Daniel goes back to smashing his toys.
Awesome, sure. Oh, that's super cool. That's super cool. I love that. It's got a number on it and everything.
Daniel's progress with the first treatment extension is displayed here. The green circles represent skill acquisition, while the orange circles represent non-dangerous problem behavior, and the red circles represent instances of dangerous problem behavior. Daniel mastered CAB 1 while maintaining low rates of problem behavior, notably 0 instances of dangerous problem behavior during learning trials. Graphs with other implementers showed similar skill progression with low rates of problem behavior during their SBT sessions. Our PFA SBT learning cohort with FTF came to an end. Both BCBAs involved received their Level 4 credentials, and the CYCs and Daniel's team received their Level 3 credentials. Given that the Level 3s were becoming more confident and skilled implementing SBT, it was decided that the BCBA would step back from in-person coaching and move towards providing coaching and feedback through video review. The new service delivery model was in place for about a month when it was noted that Daniel's progress had halted. Through visual analysis of Daniel's graphs, it was noted that Daniel was not making progress because he was only receiving, on average, 1 SPT session per week. During that session, a minimal number of learning trials were presented to Daniel. Daniel was not provided with the learning opportunities, therefore, skill acquisition had ceased. To gain a better understanding of why Daniel's treatment dosage had significantly decreased, BCBAs held meetings with Daniel's CYC team, including his SBT implementers. The team voiced that they were struggling to keep Daniel HRE. They reported he was having intense fixations on items such as the moon, the bathtub, and taking toys home, resulting in quick escalations from R2 to R1 behaviors, which they were not able to de-escalate or turn off. As a result, Daniel was in distress most of the time. When Daniel did present as HRE, staff felt pressure to try to run SBT as BCBAs were checking in to see if sessions had occurred. Staff reported that they felt as if they were almost swooping in with learning trials during any maintained moments of HRE for Daniel. They were worried that SBT was being prioritized over other relational experiences that Daniel needed for his development. SBT implementers stated that they did not feel confident or safe running SBT independently given Daniel's current struggles. They spoke about the physical safety risks present in Daniel's home environment, which were the hard toys specifically. The team were comfortable with the hard toys in the everyday life space as safety protocols have been developed around them, but SBT implementers did not feel safe encouraging Daniel to persist in sessions when hard toys were readily available. One staff member had been struck in the head with a hard toy, breaking her skin and leaving bruising within an SBT session. The following video will illustrate some of the challenges reported by staff. Before the video was clipped, Daniel was engaging with toys and the implementers. Daniel became fixated on taking a specific toy home, which could not be honored as this was a hard boundary that the team wanted to hold. Daniel begins tossing around toys, stating no, and screaming, indicating his assent withdrawal. After the video ends, Daniel continues to throw, smash, and upend items and furniture outside of the playroom, resulting in the need to physically escort him out of the environment to maintain safety. following changes were made after the meeting with Daniel's child and youth care team. To balance SBT with opportunities for relational engagement, we added SBT to the daily schedule as any other activity. Daniel could opt out of SBT. We eliminated all large, hard toys from the clinical environment, creating a physically safer space for Daniel's SBT implementers. As a team, we brainstormed ideas for reinforcement proxies for unavailable reinforcers, such as the moon. The team tried all sorts of things: moon pictures, stickers, we even tried moon VR. The team were committed to achieving HRE for Daniel and even brought a little bit of drama to Daniel's days by having very exaggerated conversations about the things that were happening in their own lives. Daniel appears to enjoy when staff talk to each other. He will often say things like fun talk. We continued to take Daniel to the clinical space and systematically increased his time within the space based on levels of HRE and problem behavior. We wanted Daniel to feel successful in the space, being able to transition in, engage, and transition out without problem behavior. Staff got very creative in how they engaged Daniel and increased duration of HRE in the space. They played with toys, they role-played with each other, they made videos of the lights, and sang silly songs. They even ended up with their own team YouTube channel full of a collection of videos for Daniel to watch both at home and in the clinical space. Amal behavioral health practitioners then enrolled in an advanced PFA SBT learning cohort with FTF in January of 2024. In this cohort, BCBAs were working towards their level 6 credentials, and behavioral health practitioners were working towards credentialing levels 3 through 5. Daniel was now engaged in the clinical space for longer periods of time, but was still struggling with fixations, and HRE was not high quality or maintained throughout the day. The behavioral health team were considering trying to implement a formal boundaries program within the clinical sessions and pause the restart of SBT to a later date. The BCBAs then engaged in a consultation meeting with Dr. Fiani prior to the beginning of the cohort. They discussed Daniel, his struggles, and wanted some feedback on their programming ideas. In this meeting, Dr. Fiani recommended we not move forward with any other programming and suggested we give SBT another try. It was decided in this meeting that we would bring Daniel into this cohort as a client, but as a new client. This meant we would complete the interview again, design a new PFA, and design new treatment goals for Daniel. Olivia, who is now working as a behavioral health practitioner pursuing her level 5 credentials, was identified as the lead implementer for Daniel. Based on information collected in the interviews with Daniel's team and family, we determined that Daniel's R1 and R2 behaviors had not changed. Daniel had made some progress in terms of cooperating with taking medications and other health-related tasks, so we decided to focus more on daily hygiene tasks such as teeth brushing and hand washing. We designed a leisure branch for Daniel with a focus on teaching him some activities he could engage in with his staff and possibly other young people to create shared experiences for him. Some of the activities in the leisure branch included sorting items, as this is something Daniel appears to enjoy, as well as playing ball or catch with another person. Finally, we designed a treatment branch focused on relaxation exercises, including deep breathing. Daniel often tries to engage in deep breaths as a means to regulate himself when he is becoming escalated, but he needed some assistance to build upon the skills he already had for this to be effective for him. We conducted a successful ISCA in the clinical space. Daniel surpassed our expectations and completed some activities to CAB 5 or higher when the EO was progressed. We were able to turn on and off minor problem behavior, as depicted by the open diamonds, a total of 5 times with no escalations into R1 behavior and quick returns to HRE. It is important to note that the minor problem behavior displayed by Daniel in this ISCA was in the form of a calm vocal refusal. Daniel's parents and team members observed the ISCA and stated they could not believe how cooperative Daniel was with the instructions presented to him, as well as how happy he was in the space with his implementer. In this video, Daniel and Olivia are hanging out in the playroom. This is the early stages of the SBT reset. Olivia will stand, clap, and present the EO to Daniel. Daniel emits his functional communication response, my way, which is immediately reinforced.
Okay, we're going to go to the table, do some work now. You can put down your toy and come to the table with me. Do some work. Nice. Oh, yeah, that's awesome! We can go back to our way. That's awesome!
In the next video, you will see Olivia working with Daniel on his tolerance response. They are engaged in the playroom, and Daniel requests that his CYCs be present in the room with him. This is a beautiful example of a shared experience. Daniel is highly engaged with Olivia, being silly and tickling her feet. Olivia will stand, clap, and present the EO. Daniel will emit his FCR, which is denied by Olivia. Daniel then emits his tolerance response, a fist pump, independently, which is immediately reinforced.
No. Send it back to me. Oh, no. I don't have any sock on that foot. It's a cold foot. It's so sad.
She took your sock, didn't she?
It's so sad.
I didn't realize it.
Time to do something else. Not right now. Yeah!
As you can see, we celebrate Daniel's wins in a big way. Everyone is excited for him when he learns a new skill. After mastering his tolerance response, we began working on CAB 1, relinquishing his toys. In this video, you will see Daniel's SBT session being conducted in the backyard on the swing. Daniel loves the swing and often requests to have his practice there, weather permitting. You will see Olivia stand, clap, and present the EO. Daniel will emit his FCR and his tolerance response and will lay down his toy when instructed to do so. Daniel's relinquishing is immediately reinforced and he goes back to swinging.
Okay. Oh, good job, not right now. Way to go! That's
After repeated practice and success with CAB 1, we began working with Daniel on transitioning. This video clip will showcase a CAB 2 teaching trial. Olivia will present the EO to Daniel, and he will respond with my way. I would like to note that Daniel often requires some time to process instructions and respond appropriately. You will see a pause. His FCR is denied, which he tolerates by giving Olivia a fist pump. Olivia then instructs him to lay down his toys and follow her to the table. Daniel cooperates with all of Olivia's instructions independently.
Trying to do something else. Not right now. Good job. Put down your toy and walk to the table. Over here. No, you're not going now. Get out of here.
This was a big win for both Daniel and Olivia. CAB 2 is where progress halted in our first attempt at treatment. All of the previous videos highlighted responding with independent skills in the absence of problem behavior. However, this is often not the reality of running SBT, and not every learning trial will result in perfect cooperation or will occur without problem behavior. In the next clip, you will see Olivia present the EO and Daniel responds with his FCR. Olivia denies this. You will also see that Olivia uses differential reinforcement for the tolerance response. She does not accept when Daniel hits her hand with force and waits for a gentle touch before providing the next instruction. When Olivia asks Daniel to put his toys down, he struggles and refuses to cooperate. You will even hear him say no. Olivia responds with empathy and encourages Daniel to persist. Olivia and Daniel have a strong relationship, and Olivia knows that she can push Daniel in this moment. You will see her shape back her initial instructions, looking for the smallest bit of cooperation from Daniel. Once Daniel stands, Olivia encourages him to transition all the way to the table, and Daniel was successful.
Good job, but not right now. Good job. Are you choicing? You put the arms over you. I can help you. Just let it there on the side. Do you want to take it with you? You come on, to the table? No. You can do it. You're really good at it. You're awesome at it. I can help you? No. You're really good. No. If you can help you up. Put me on the side. Good. And the other one. Yes. Come with me. Go to the table. You can do that. You did that, and that was really hard. I know you can do this. How about you just take one step up for me? Stand up. I can help you up. How about you put your foot on the ground? Put this leg on the ground for me. There you go. Good job. I'm really proud of you. Keep going. We're going to the table. You can do it. Look at you go. This is awesome. I can't wait to tell everybody.
Encouraging persistence in the face of our twos is where the learning really happens. Here, we will see Daniel beginning to work. Olivia presents the EO and Daniel admits his FCR, which is denied. He then puts down his toys and transitions to the sink when asked to begin working on hand washing. Daniel cooperates with all of Olivia's instructions and immediately returns to HRE when reinforcement is provided.
Oh, no! That's a big tickle. Okay. Time to do something else. Not right now. Good job. Put down your toys. Great. Come with me to the sink. Great job. Now we're going to wash your hands. Okay. Put some on your hands. Good job. Mix your hands together. I'll turn on the water for you. And let's mix some of the sink. Good job. Good. Way to go. I got a towel for you. Back to your way, bud. Good job. Awesome. Way to go. Mm-hmm.
Daniel continued to progress through his SBT. He was able to show cooperation across a variety of tasks with extended task expectations or task durations. Daniel was now ready to be challenged. Challenges are introduced to young people to ensure they can still cooperate with adult instructions and complete tasks when the conditions are not perfect, just like in the real world. In this video, you will see Daniel cooperating with Olivia in a matching task. Daniel has been engaged in this task for some time before the video was clipped. Olivia then provides the challenge of diverting her attention away from Daniel and instructs him to continue to engage in the activity. Daniel handles the diverted attention well, something that was reported to be difficult for Daniel, and cooperates with Olivia's instructions, continuing to match.
Hands together. Good. Keep doing that. Keep matching. I gotta go over here for a second, do some work, okay? Keep matching.
In addition to handling diverted attention, Daniel has shown us that he can cooperate in tasks when error correction occurs. In this video, you will see Daniel smoothly move through the steps of the new behavior chain and wash his hands to completion while being corrected by Olivia.
You're so funny. Time to do something else. Oh, good job. Marina. Awesome. Lay down your shoulder and your hip. Good job. And cheers. Great work. Come with me to sink. Okay. We're going to turn on the water and wash our hands. Okay. Okay, now you pump the soap in your hands. Okay. Here you go. Now, rub your hands together. Okay. Now turn them over. Yeah, scrub the back. Like this. Good. And scrub the other side. Now take your fingernails and scrub your palm. Yeah, and this. Good. I'm going to make it a little more warm for you. Okay, now take clean your fingers. Stop. Dry your hands. Awesome. Good job. You're right now. You keep watching videos. You like? Do that too.
Daniel continues to impress us and has shown that he can handle challenges across all CAB branches. In this video, you will see Daniel engaging in deep breathing exercises while being corrected by Olivia.
Okay. This time when we do this one, you take a deep breath, okay? You can do it. Ready? Smell the flowers. Good. Blow out the candle. Look at you go. You can do it. Smell the candle. Make sure you go. Big one. Yep. Blow out the candle. Breathe in. Good. Blow out the candle. Good. Okay, now this time deep breath. Like, breathe in. There you go. Good breath. Good. Now,
we are remarkably proud of the progress Daniel and his team has made thus far on our SBT journey. The wins did not come without their challenges, and there were many challenging moments. The next video will highlight problem behavior within an SBT session. Daniel became fixated on the staffing schedule and not wanting a particular staff to stay overnight with him while engaging in his reinforcement context. Fixations on the staffing schedule and demanding for particular staff to be present is a challenge that generally escalated Daniel into highly aggressive and dangerous behaviors in the past. Before this video was clipped, Daniel did engage in an R1 behavior. He forcefully threw a toy at the floor in the direction of where Olivia was sitting. This is why Olivia and Daniel's team member are now standing as per their UMAB training. Olivia is responding to Daniel with empathy, restating his assertions to convey understanding, and trying to satisfy requests in the moment. He asks about taking a bath. She responds, sure. Olivia continues to empathize with Daniel while also maintaining safety in the environment. She speaks to him in a calm voice and offers to help him if he is losing control. Olivia is able to de-escalate Daniel back to baseline. No physical containment was necessary, and no one got hurt.
And you want to throw because it makes you feel better. Or you think it does, right? You're like, feels good. Sure. McDonald's? Lots of stuff. But no, if we go to throw, I have to hold your hands. And I don't want to do that. I don't like doing that. Okay? I just don't want to get hurt. It hurts Olivia. Okay. And try photos. You want to try some photos? Yeah.
Do you want to try and not throw toys?
No, throw a picture's face for you. Olivia, hold your hands, okay? If you're struggling, I'll help you. If it's hard, I'll help you. Okay? Because you're really smart. And I know you're upset with your thoughts about Emmanuel, and you're not upset with your brother Olivia. No, that's what you're upset about. That's not that. Right, you're upset that Emmanuel's coming. Is there anyone else coming?
Solomon's.
Oh, yeah.
Solomon's staying till 11.
Oh, Solomon's going to come hang out.
Mm-hmm.
No. And Emmanuel will come when you're sleeping. And leave when you're sleeping. When you wake up, it's going to go off. Right? Like every night. Cleaning. Right? And then you wake up. And you say, I wonder what I'm going to do today. And then Emmanuel's there, and he's like, oh no, I'm going to go home now. And then someone else is going to come. Right. Yeah, that's a good breath. That's true. What do you like? Cool. Hey, good choice, dude. I'm so proud of you. Really, really good choice. I know it's really tough. You know it's tough. Do you have plans with Bridget today? Josh?
We're trying to make some plans. Yeah.
You know McDonald's was one.
Yeah.
Or maybe separate.
Yeah.
While no learning trials were presented during this session, this was still a win for Daniel and his team. If you take a moment to reflect back to the earlier video of Daniel engaging in problem behavior, you can see that many of Daniel's R1 behaviors have been shaped down to R2s. This is a testament to the hard work Daniel's team have put in. Through the SBT process, Daniel has learned that his words have power and there is no need to engage in extraordinary behaviors to meet his needs. In this video, Daniel expresses his wishes to end his SBT session and go to the park. If you remember from an earlier video in the playroom, Daniel began throwing toys and screaming as a means to end his session and move on with his day. In this video, Daniel will vocally request to go to the park and that he is done with the playroom. Olivia immediately honors his request. Daniel then begins cleaning up the toys and asks Olivia to set a timer. Daniel begins counting down and Olivia joins in, another great example of a shared experience. Once the timer sounds, Daniel transitions independently out of the clinical space, leaving the toys behind without being asked or without issue, and continues on with his day.
Go to the park today? Sure. Down to the playroom. Okay, so now it's time for countdown. All right. Oh my goodness. You're going to kill some puppies. Slowly jumping. Sorry, you're going to clean up. Awesome. Woo. Ready? Or should I yell it? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Okay.
I'll take this back, I guess.
Yeah, we'll switch. Okay, we're leaving. Ready, Tony? Hey, my kitty! What the heck?
Daniel is currently working on CAB 6 expectations across all 3 treatment branches, and we are beginning the generalization process, which will start with transferring the skills to his home environment. This graph shows Daniel's progress in his leisure branch. Green circles represent Daniel's skill acquisition. Purple circles represent HRE observed once returned to reinforcement. The orange circles represent R2 behaviors, and the red circles represent R1 behaviors. Daniel has shown independent responding to task presentation with quick returns to HRE once reinforcement is provided. There have been overall low rates of R2 behaviors and even fewer occurrences of R1 behaviors. Here is Daniel's program within his hygiene branch. As you can see, he has made similar progress. And finally, here is Daniel's relaxation branch. The Behavioral Health Index graph captures Daniel's journey with us through SBT. The blue bars depict Daniel's BHI scores previous to Daniel beginning services with us, and the black bars depict Daniel's current BHI scores. As you can see, Daniel's BHI scores have increased, meaning that Daniel has gained critical skills, moving Daniel from a highly restricted lifestyle with a high risk of severe problem behavior to a lesser restrictive lifestyle with a moderate risk of severe problem behavior. We still have work to do with Daniel. This graph provides a comprehensive view of our data collection process. It includes both the baseline phase discussed earlier and data collected following 5 months of the implementation of SBT. During the intervention phase, data represented by circles indicate instances of aggression without therapeutic containment, ranging from 0 to 7 times per week. Data represented by the squares show incidents, requiring therapeutic containment for safety. These also occurred at about 0 to 7 times weekly. Despite ongoing challenges, there is a notable decrease in both conditions where physical aggression was displayed by Daniel. Additionally, caregiver injuries were significantly reduced, with no more than 1 injury occurring in any given week during this period. When Daniel first entered our care, engaging in reciprocal interactions was challenging. Since then, we had focused on improving this aspect through SBT. However, it's important to note that his ability to connect with others has also developed significantly thanks to the rapport built with his dedicated team. Now I'd like to take a moment to show a video of Daniel engaging in leisure with his child and youth care team. This footage highlights the progress he has made in building skills and forming meaningful connections.
What's it? Jamal's gonna go in for a shot. Go shoots.
Whoa!
Goes for another shot. Moves up, lines up, gets in the perfect spot. He shoots.
Whoa! Amazing, buddy. You're amazing. I would like to send a special thank you to Daniel's family, his dedicated team, our behavioral health staff, Dr. Heather Modlin, Dr. Teresa Fiani, and Dr. Greg Hanley.